Alright, guys. What can I say but, man, what a movie. That's like peak cinema right there. I did not expect Marvel to have another banger this year. Um, 3 out of 4 isn't bad at all, I knew it right after Deadpool and Wolverine that the MCU was back in full swing, and things have not been looking brighter since the Infinity Saga, I'll be honest. But let's talk about the movie itself. The movie itself opens up 4 years into the Fantastic Four superhero career. We already know the story. There are a bunch of astronauts who went to space and got superpowers. So Marvel just skipped right over that because we had already seen it with both the 2015 and 2005 Fantastic Four. So I'm glad we didn't have to see that again. What I like about this movie, compared to the first two attempts, was that I actually feel a sense of family with these characters rather than the first two. Like, I feel like in the first movie they were trying to get along and it never really worked out. Like, they were just forced to live with one another. The 2015 team just felt like a bunch of friends, like social like rejects or something, getting all put together, and they just became friends somehow because of the plot. But this team's chemistry was perfect. I loved it. I did not expect Marvel to introduce Franklin Richards in the first movie. Like that's like one of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel Comics. For him to be in the first Fantastic Four movie is pretty nuts. But it made sense for the plot. So I'm not too bothered by that. Another thing, I'm glad that the baby isn't made out of CGI. I don't know if you guys have seen the new season of Squid Games. The baby there, it's not a real baby. It's CGI, if you guys couldn't tell. But I'm glad, and it appears that Marvel used a real baby this time around. What else was I gonna say? The Silver Surfer was great. It was like a better, like, the Silver Surfer included in this movie with the whole Galactus premise was just like a better retelling of Rise of the Silver Surfer from 2007, which was honestly pretty refreshing because that movie, compared to the first two, oh god, that one was awful. That's like the weaker sequel to the first Fantastic Four movie. And I like how the Silver Surfer was actually like surfing, not just like through the skies, but like through the lava or like through the water. So it like actually showed that she was actually surfing, which was a pretty nice touch on Marvel's part. I know some of you sexist assholes are gonna say something. Oh, the Silver Surfer's a man and not a woman. Oh, they changed it. The movie's fucking woke. Like, we shouldn't watch this shit. If you've read the comics, which some of you probably haven't, you'd know that the Silver Surfer can also be a woman. So, yeah, that's pretty much that on that. What's another thing I want to touch on? Oh, Galactus. I'm so glad that they did Galactus properly this time around. Like, you have no idea. Like, because back in 2007 when they made Rise of the Silver Surfer, like, it was the era of evil space clouds with obviously the Fantastic Four doing it, then Green Lantern and the Hulk by Ang Lee also included the evil space cloud, which honestly, looking back at it, seemed like a pretty ridiculous trope, sort of like the Skybeam in the 2010s. So yeah, it was just pretty cool seeing Galactus being an actual, you know, being instead of just a cloud. And I really thought the Fantastic Four wasn't gonna win against him, but I'm glad I was proven wrong. What else was I gonna say? Oh, another thing. This movie, compared to the 2015 attempt, actually feels like a comic book. Because, I'll be honest, if The Thing wasn't in the promotions for the 2015 Fantastic Four, you wouldn't even be able to tell it's a Fantastic Four movie, which honestly, you probably wouldn't either way, because it would just be three people in black suits. But it was like the 2010s edgy superhero era, which I'll probably make a video on. Give me a thumbs up if you want that video. But yeah, this movie actually felt like a comic book with all the vibrant colors, the suits, the family dynamic, the catchphrases. Everything was just so perfect in this movie. I can't get over it. And I'm glad that these movies actually, I would say for the first time in 17 years, feel like comic books that just, came to life. Because you got the new suit Spider-Man had at the end of No Way Home. You had Deadpool and Wolverine with their suits, although the story, wasn't really from the comics. Thor's suit in Thor Love and Thunder, even though we don't talk about that movie. But it was just so refreshing to see these characters in comic accurate suits, which gives me more hope for when the X-Men appear in Avengers Doomsday. Speaking of Avengers Doomsday, I really thought they were going to include Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom in a far more menacing scene than rather him just, reading a book to Franklin. But like we all know, everyone's after Franklin, so it kind of did make sense that, he went after him that way. What was I gonna say? Oh, I like the nod to the comics at the beginning when they're taking down the Mole Man, and this one villain that looks like this one cover from one of the first issues. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll look into that later. So it was nice seeing that into live action. Like I said, just great overall. It reminded me of when they were doing the Spider-Man Homecoming promotions with the comic illustrations in real life. Also great to see back then, even now. Overall, these characters are very great. I remember before the movie came out, they thought Johnny Storm was going to be gay and not, chasing after women like he did in the first reboot, which was obviously false. Again, we shouldn't believe everything we hear before the movie comes out. They only do that to scare away the audience. But, Johnny wasn't gay. He was into the Silver Surfer. And, yeah. And I'm glad that, Johnny had some time to shine. He he was able to figure out why the Silver Surfer was working for Galactus, which never really happens because in every portrayal of the Fantastic Four, Johnny's just seen as like the dumb one. Like, he doesn't really do much. He's just like a ladies' man who just tries to get girls. So I'm glad they gave him a role in this movie. Oh, when Johnny was carrying the thing, and he's like, "Come on, say it, say the line, say the line." It's clobbering time, and then once he said it, man, I was never this excited for a scene in my entire life. It was just so funny. It was just so great hearing the thing say it's clobbering time after, in the 2015 movie, it was used as a form of child abuse. And then, having it, just being used as something the toy said in the 2005 movie. But like I've been saying, it was just a major refresh on the characters. And I'm glad the rights went back to Marvel, because Marvel clearly knows what they're doing with these characters rather than 10 years of Fox, when they had no clue and were just trying to make original stories. But I can't believe Disney pulled the same trope that 20th Century Fox did with killing the Invisible Woman. Like, it's so overdone at this point. Like, why are we doing this? And they actually, they kind of got me. I was like, oh no, is she actually dead this time? And luckily, her son, Franklin Richards, brought her back to life. But what a shocker, even though, he's one of the most powerful beings, so I knew he was going to, either some way or another. But yeah, one thing I want to say is that before this movie came out, people were really judging it because it seems like these people had never read comics in their lives, and they just let the woke stuff that supposedly was going to happen make their opinions before they saw the movie and before it came out. And I'm glad these people are now disproven wrong, and they'll see this movie for what it is, which is a great movie to a great start. And let's just hope Avengers Doomsday doesn't disappoint. That's all I have for that. And I just want to say that the Human Torch's flight movements were just so great in this movie. Like, I can't get over it. I'd never seen any sort of flight movements for any hero in these years of watching these movies, so it was great seeing this done properly. Like, I could probably talk about this movie all day because, like, it was just so great. I'm glad that the MCU finally knows what they're doing and is getting things in check. And hopefully Marvel's doing the right thing with Avengers Doomsday, considering they delayed it. Overall, that's all I have for this review. This may be the last episode of the season, and from then on, I will most likely be doing vlogs or social commentary. I'll see what I come up with for you guys. But overall, it's been a great year for comic book movies. Alright guys, I just wanted to add that I noticed a small detail in the movie when Reed Richards and Johnny Storm were in the kitchen working on the teleporter. I noticed Reed say something about sonic projectors, and I remembered when watching that scene that's what was used in the last Fantastic Four movie, for the project, for the teleporter to be successful in it, and why Johnny Storm's dad wanted to recruit Reed Richards, because in the Baxter Foundation they did not have the sonic projectors, which the sonic projectors were the ones that brought back the matter due to using dynamics to modulate the field, stuff like that. That's all I wanted to add. I'll see you guys next time.